I met Yare on the ground floor of the building. From there, we took a mobility vehicle to the work site. The client lived about 20 minutes away. The destination was one of several residences owned by a man named Naya. Yare had met him before. "Though we probably won't see him this time," he said. "He's busy. One of his staff will likely handle everything." I asked what kind of man Naya was. Yare watched the city pass beyond the window. "Not just a businessman," he said. "He has ties to the government. It's difficult to know what he really wants." He believed Nia's interest in our virtual system was not personal, not entertainment, something else. Perhaps a business use. Perhaps the reason he was helping finance the project. "But it doesn't matter to us," Yare said. "We just do the installation." Naya's residence stood in another district of towers. The buildings rose as high as those near the station, but there was more open space here. More trees. Fewer people. The empty spaces seemed intentional. They created a sense of calm, of wealth. One tower stood apart from the rest. Yare pointed toward it. "The entire top floor belongs to Naya. Even from the street, its scale was obvious. The woman who greeted us was young. She wore a glossy white suit. Her hair, cut to shoulder length, was white as well. "My name is Ro," she said. The interior matched her appearance. White walls, white furnishings, white floors. Everything reflected the light. The effect was clean, though slightly harsh on the eyes. She led us to the system room connected to the virtual chamber. The room was large and nearly empty. Desks lined the walls. Terminals and equipment were arranged with precise order. Ro explained Naya's requests. Most of it matched the information we had already received. Still, she spoke clearly. She knew exactly what mattered and what did not. As the conversation continued, it became clear that she was more than a messenger. She understood the system in detail. When I asked, she told me she headed the information technology division of Naya's company. I remembered what Yare had said. Perhaps the virtual system really was tied to Naya's business interests. The thought passed through my mind and disappeared again. It had nothing to do with me. When Ro quietly left the room, we began the installation. Yare handled most of the configuration. I assisted with manual adjustments and testing, checking displays, comparing logs, eliminating errors one by one. The work was slow and methodical. The system itself was still in the testing phase. Only pilot users had access to it. Its defining feature was simple. Unlike ordinary virtual systems, it allowed movement through time. Past and future. Not a fixed reconstruction. The same place could be visited across different layers of time. The idea alone expanded what a virtual experience could be. For now, however, the system remained limited. Only a small number of programs were available. Each had to be configured in advance. The locations selected for Naya were all real places on Hagan. Government buildings, rural settlements. Tourist sites, symbolic places. Why those places had been chosen, I did not know. Still, I felt there was a reason. The ability to move freely through different versions of the same place seemed central to whatever Naya wanted from the system. While Yare worked, I watched the settings on the screen. Something felt unusual. A simulation of the future required countless possible branches. The system dealt with that problem through parameters. Users chose which possibilities to emphasize and which to ignore. Those choices shaped the world that emerged. Some settings were broad. A hopeful future. A pessimistic future. A realistic future. An unexpected future. Others were highly detailed. Statistics. Economic data. Layered conditions. Entire chains of assumptions. Together they guided the simulation. As I watched Yare work, a pattern appeared. Many of the settings concerned Hagan itself, its society, its economy, its politics. They were adjusted with unusual precision. Other categories received little attention. Climate, environmental conditions, events. Activities. Only the minimum values were entered. That struck me as odd. The system was sold as entertainment. People enjoyed it because of the scenery, the surprises, the emotional experiences it created. But those elements seemed absent here. Yare moved through the menus without hesitation. His hand never slowed. "These settings are very realistic," I said. He paused for only a second. "It's what the client requested." Then he continued. A few parameters remained untouched. Extreme environmental change, fatal accidents, large-scale disruptions. The values were not high enough to trigger warnings, but they were still unusual. Normally we applied safeguards. Users were not supposed to leave the experience psychologically shaken. I knew that from experience. During an earlier test, I had visited a future simulation in which an entire planet disappeared. One moment the world existed. The next, there was only empty space. I remembered the feeling afterward. For days, reality itself seemed less certain. The memory returned. I pointed toward the remaining settings. "Shouldn't these be adjusted?" Yare did not look up. "They're fine as they are." His answer came quickly, without doubt. I said nothing more, but the question stayed with me. What was this system for? Perhaps it was not meant to show pleasant futures at all. By the time we finished the configuration and testing, night had fallen. Ro returned. We explained the basic operation of the system. She listened carefully and took notes on a terminal. From time to time she asked questions. Precise questions. The kind that revealed genuine understanding. I began to think the work was finished. Then Ro looked up. "Mr. Nair would like to meet you in person." The request surprised me. There was no reason to refuse. We agreed to visit the following morning. Then we left. Back at the hotel, I stood by the window. The lights of Hagan City filled the darkness. Towers glowed against the night. From a distance, the city looked endless. When I looked more carefully, I saw that it was not. The bright districts occupied only a small area. Beyond them stretched vast regions of darkness. I put on my goggles and searched the horizon. I still could not tell where the airport was. The city revealed something else. Hagan City stood high above the surrounding land. Perhaps the train had climbed gradually from the airport. If so, I had never noticed. I had heard that nearly 10% of Hagan's population lived here. Most of the planet's wealth was concentrated here as well. I looked at the towers. At the lights. At the dark land beyond them. The people inside the light lived high above the rest of the world. From there, they could look down on everything around them.